So you want to learn how to do quick weaves like a pro. Before we get here, we have to take it all the way back. As per usual, we are starting off with a nice clean canvas. My client today was shampooed and trimmed. You can catch that on the next video that's coming out. But we're going to get into parting off this leave out. You don't want to leave out too little and you don't want to leave out too much. A good rule of thumb or a thing that you can do is taking your rat tail comb and putting it right underneath the hair, and if you can see the comb through it, then you did not leave out enough hair. But this is also based on the density and thickness of the person hair that you are doing. Today we are doing a side part, but these steps can be used exactly the same for a middle part or any type of quick weave you are doing. Make sure your leave out is out the way. For this client, I am going to braid down her base. Now, there is many ways to skin a cat. You do not have to braid down a base. You can always slick the hair down and put it in a ponytail. This also depends on the thickness of your client or your hair, depending on the method that you're going to do. And I'm literally only going to put 3 to 4 braids in her hair. It's still going to be flat. You do not need a whole braid down for a sewing. The definition of a quick weave is it's supposed to be quick. If you can kind of tell, I kind of like to try to start my braid a little bit lower. I'm literally putting this whole section into one braid. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more braids on the other side, and I'm going to connect them all into one braid at the end. So if I was to slick my client hair down, I would have used this gel, taking it back to old school. If you know, you know. But I did end up using some of that gel just to make sure I slicked her edges down. Well, not her edges, but slick her braids down and make sure it laid flat. So I would recommend you use a black cap. I do not have a black cap. Any cap will work. When you are styling it, you won't have to worry about seeing any brown cap peek through. I am cutting out the ear tabs like I would do for a wig install, just so I can make sure the cap lay extra flat, and just to make sure my client is also comfortable, because who wants to sit there just with that over their head. That is the protector that I am using, originally called Morning Glory. If you know, you know. We are going to carefully apply this protector. We are going to put it on everything except for her leave out. We're going to make sure we don't actually get any of it on her leave out. So please try to apply it as neatly as possible. As you can see in the video, I done messed up and dripped it on my client a couple of times. But this is why it's important for you to have a cape or something on your client, because accidents do happen. I'm going to go in with my Even Lace adhesive spray. You don't have to use this one. You can use any hairspray, but I'm going to use that as an extra hold and an extra barrier. This also just helps the cap stay on and it lasts extra long. I'm going to set my client under the dryer for about 30 minutes. You want to make sure this cap is thoroughly dry. You did see me using my blow dryer some, because I feel like when I use my blow dryer, it just speeds up the process of it drying even faster. We are going to cut all excess cap, making sure we do not cut our client's leave out or cut your own leave out. Don't cut anybody leave out. Then right here, I noticed I had a spot that wasn't dried all the way. So I had to go back in and use my blow dryer. You'll know it's dry all the way. If you start cutting the cap and that shit start wanting to peel back, then you know it's not dry all the way. If the cap is not dry all the way, those tracks will not stick. They will be coming off. So please make sure it is dry all the way. Also, let your clients know how to remove this. Also, just for yourself, you just go in with water. If it's not coming off with straight just water, you can always add conditioner or oil. But this cap should just like melt away when you add water. There should not be no ripping or tugging of the hair. This usually lasts my clients for about 3 to 4 weeks. Now, if you are literally looking for a quick weave to last you maybe a week, I have another method that I do where I sew a thick wig cap that I will use for wig making on, and I sew that around the perimeter and glue the tracks on. That does not last as long as this method, but it's a quicker removal. All I have to do is cut the thread and it comes off just like a wig. So we're going to measure the back of your head, your client head, whoever you're doing, from side to side. And we're just going to lay those tracks back and forth. It really is simple. I do not place that track all the way at the bottom. That is always the first track that comes up. So I kind of place it above that hump of their neck, just so they don't have that problem at home. I literally use any hair glue to do my quick weave. Usually it's the Salon 30-second glue. I really haven't noticed a difference between hair glue. I'm also doing 2 tracks at a time. This is supposed to be a quick weave. Let's make it quick. So I go ahead and cut 2 tracks and I glue them at the same time. But you also want to be careful and you want to be neat when you are doing this. You're going to place that track where we just measured at. And y'all, excuse my nails. Looking at this video, all these nails was chopped and screwed, but I didn't want to go get my nails done yet because I had a trip coming up. So please excuse the nails. I don't blow dry after every track. I do make sure I push. You want to make sure you push those ends in really, really good. I kind of blow dry maybe every couple tracks. I know some stylists or some people might blow dry every track to make sure it's dry. Usually I don't have no problem as long as this cap is all the way dry, like it sticks immediately. But what I will do is at the end is go through and blow dry everything. Tug on it a little bit just to make sure everything is secure. Also, when you're styling it, you'll also be able to see if any tracks are loose and you go in and fix that. Depending on the look that you are going for, it's going to be based on how you're going to lay the tracks. My client did not want too much hair in her face, so I did not lay the tracks in her face at all. I just kept going straight back and forth. But what I did do is when I got to this side right here, I did curve the track a little bit. It's naturally going to fall in her face a little bit because it is a side part. At this corner, you can kind of see right there that I had curved the track slightly. And the rest of this is kind of explanatory. You can watch and see I'm going back and forth, back and forth. Now, of course, the side that is heavier because she has a side part, I did have to lay more tracks on that side. So you'll see me just cutting up tracks because after a while you can't keep going back and forth because it's not a middle part. Now, if it was a middle part, you should be able to go back and forth equally without having to do that. My client in the chair has 4C hair, and you're going to see how straight we get it. She doesn't wear her hair straight. This is probably like this is like my second or third time really pressing her hair out. She usually wear braids. The product that you see I'm using is by Redken. I can't remember the exact name right now, but it is a spray heat protectant. It is oil based. I like that. So it kind of almost acts as a wax stick without me having to use a wax stick. I'm literally going to tell y'all this in every video. We are going to hot comb those roots. Nothing to me gets the roots straighter than a hot comb. Even when I use my mini flat iron, it does not do the job. We're going to hot comb those roots and then we're going to go and press it with a flat iron. Please don't worry about the steam. The steam is from the product I just used. My client's edges are really like short. So of course we are going to go back in with that mini flat iron and we want to give fresh relaxer. So I also think I did off camera. I took a little bit of pressing oil. I love some pressing oil to put on them edges and get them real slick. Sometimes as stylists we have to go back to the basics, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like some of the products that we've been using, we just need to go back to. And just like we're doing a silk press, we're going to take the hair in sections and we're going to press it down. My clients don't be having heat damage unless they continue to press their hair at home. So do this at your own risk. Also, the shampoos and stuff that I use also was a prepper for this process. As you see, I do not play. I get down. I be trying to make sure there is no crinkle in sight. When I said I wanted this to give fresh relaxer, that's what I wanted to give. Fresh relaxer, good press, silk press. For some people here, I don't have to do all of this, but like I said, she's young. She doesn't get her hair pressed that often, so yeah, I have to go the extra mile. I'm also spraying that black spray right there, just to cover up the cap. Like I said, I didn't use the black cap, so if you use the black cap, you should not have to worry about that step. Just in case the wind blows, I just did not want y'all to see a brown cap. Now for the edges, I'm taking it back. I am using beeswax. We do not use edge control over here when we done press that hair out real good. We are using beeswax and a little bit of, I think, Gas to Be spray. Or is it the Emist spray? Either or, just a nice good whole hairspray. And we're going to have our client help us. Teamwork, make the dream work. I am using it in sections. Her hair, her hair literally almost wanted to curl back up. Usually beeswax does keep it in place. It did do a really good job. But her, like I said, her hair is not trained. You also can just use hairspray on its own, but that all just depends on the client. She did need that extra hold of the beeswax. I like the beeswax. My clients tell me it lasts at least up, their edges last up until a week. It doesn't get flaky. It stays in place. It looks good. It doesn't curl up. Like, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ooh, her Leaveout is just blowing. It's giving cover girl. So now I'm just going to go in with the other side. And I think I added a little beeswax right there just to mold that down in place too. And a little bit of hairspray. You can kind of see in this video that she got that little crinkle right there. That little piece right there was going to be the death of me, because I kept going back and trying to fix that little piece. I also just spray the silkening mist on top. That's also to get all or any type of flyaways that may be sticking up. That is Cliff Mirror's silkiness mist. If you know, you know. I have to use that spray very sparingly because it is expensive. And yeah, we're just not going to be out here just using that spray. The hairspray has a hole, kind of like a hairspray, so I did go back through when I sprayed it and just pressed it again to help further blend her leave out. I am taking my my Hot Tools iron. It is a 1-inch iron, and we're just going to go in and curl her whole head. This iron is pretty tight, so I don't have to do super super small sections. For those who are confused about what directions to curl in, the best thing to do is to split your hair in half from right and left. And always remember, we are curling away from the face. So everything on your right, you are turning back away from your right, and everything on your left, you are turning back away from your left. This also goes the same when you are flexing around in your hair at nighttime. Again, split that hair in half and do the same exact thing. Also, you can kind of play with the curl if it's not laying right after you get done, because while it's sitting there to cool, you do want it to like be formed in a way that you want it to lay. So after we get done curling, I just go in with my camera light hold hairspray and spray it all around. I think this is like the lowest of held, because I do go back in with Got to Be after I am combing it out and shaping it the way that I want to. I use the hairspray to also lay down the curls to get that nice look that you see on Instagram. It's also helping with the flyaways and just to keep that mold in place. And if no one tell you, I'm about to tell you. How you comb out these curls and lay it right now matters when you take your pictures. Everybody right now, it seems like Instagram likes that nice aesthetically pleasing where all the curls are like combed together. So you really have to take your time and comb it in hairspray and lay it in place. And one thing about it, and two things for sure, I'm going to comb and comb and comb that hair. I'm going to play with this hair until I get it to be exactly how I like it. I am such a nitpick. I think almost every hairstylist is nitpicky about their work because it does show up on the camera and it shows up where you mess up at. Or maybe that's just a stylist eye, but it really is the small details that set stylists apart from other stylists. Right here, I'm just going in with the camera soaking in mist. I love this mist because it adds a nice shine, but it's not heavy at all. Actually, I don't think it does have oil, but it doesn't weigh the hair down at all. I also went in with a little bit of concealer just to clean that part up. I know people say they hate this, but I actually love this. If you do it right, it can still look natural, but just give it a little cleaner part. If you do it too much, you can always go back in and add a little bit of oil, and it'll just take some of that concealer right on out. You cannot tell me I didn't kill this look. It's very soft, natural. It almost gives silk press. Not almost, it does give silk press. Now, if you follow these steps exactly like I told you, you should come out looking like a baddie, okay? And also, I'm sorry, some things I just can't teach. Some of it is just a flick of the wrist. But thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.